Hello, welcome back to Nails by Stephanie. I hope you are doing well. Today we are doing my birthday manicure. My birthday is next Tuesday. By the time you see this video, it will already have happened. I have prepped my right hand to show you how I achieved this look, which I absolutely love, which is good because I don't have time to redo it. I bounced back and forth between a few different design ideas, and I ended up combining a few different ideas to achieve this beautiful jade and gold manicure, which, like I said, I absolutely love. There are a few parts of it that, in terms of the process, are a little bit of a pain in the butt, but we're going to go through them. And yeah, let's get to it. So we're starting off with two different colors, one by Tiny, which is this beautiful nude. It's a syrup gel in their Lang Lang Floral Syrup Series, TYY008. And then we've got our Jade color from Melody Susie. This is JFR58. I'm sure it probably has a name other than just a number designation, but I do not know it. I will link it down below though. I got it on Amazon and I absolutely love this color. I've used it in other manicures before. But we're going to start off with, there is an ombre effect, which I will show you how to do. But first I'm just going to get the base colors down on my nails. So I'm going to have the ombre on my thumb, middle, and pinky, and then the jade on my pointer and ring finger. All right, we've got 2 coats of each color on each nail. We're going to go in with the ombre now. So I've done ombre on this channel before, but if you have not seen it, you will need an ombre brush, or at least that's the easiest way to do it. It is definitely a lot easier to do with syrup gels because they are, by their nature, translucent or semi-transparent, so it's easier to blend the colors. But we're just going to go halfway down the nail. I'm going to do 2 coats, but we want to get a good even layer on, not too thick, and then you want to go in with your ombre brush and gently feather out the color. You want to go a little bit at a time. You just want to dab at it and feather it down. And because they are very close in tone, it is very easy to do. If your brush starts to get too much pigment on it, you can go ahead and clean it off a little bit of acetone and then dry it out and then go back at it. Once you get it the way you like it, go ahead and cure it and proceed with your other nails. All right, so for the second coat, we're not going to go down as far. We just want to brighten the tip a little bit. So about half as far down as you went before, and then blend it out the same way. You also want to make sure you go in with a liner brush, make sure that the color is coming to the free edge, but that it's not pooling and creating a ridge. You want a nice smooth progression down the nail. Right, next step is my usual matte top coat. Whenever I'm going to do design work, I go in and do a matte top coat so that I have a non-tacky smooth surface to draw on. And especially since we're going to be going in, oh, I didn't mention this, we're going to be going in with gold chroming powder. You want to have a matte background so that the chrome only sticks to where you want it to stick. Moving on to the 3D aspect, our flowers, our solid nail glue. Make sure, please, I say this in every video, you wear a glove when you are working with any gel products, whether it is liquid gel or modeling gel like plasticine or solid nail glue. You do not want to barehand it, please. I know there are a lot of brands out there that supposedly are fine to be touched with your bare hands, but I still prefer to wear gloves. I'm gonna roll out a little snaky snake. I'm gonna take my X-Acto knife and I'm going to cut off 3 relatively small even-sized pieces and just set it aside. Easier said than done. If it's getting a little tacky, you can go ahead and wet your implement with alcohol, not acetone. Acetone is going to melt it and make it even more tacky. Okay, I'm gonna move this aside. And on my left hand, I have the 3 petals on my pointer finger. I'm going to move it to my ring finger and do the partial flower there. When I did my left hand, I left the tacky coat on. I kind of forgot to do so with this one. Oh, having a tacky coat on your nail does help keep them in place while you're working. But just press it down a little bit, you should be fine. Okay, so putting all 3 on the nail at once and going in with my silicone tool that has a round pointed tip. And again, coming in with my alcohol. I'm gonna go ahead and push the point down towards the center. and then flatten it out towards the outside of the petal. And kind of just push it out gently. More difficult doing it with my left hand. You want to kind of try to keep that lip along the edge so that it's not too flat. And this, because it's 3D gel, it's not going to move on you. It gives you that time to work with it. This is not the right position for my hand. You can, of course, do one pellet at a time, cure it, and then move on, which is what I'm going to do with the full flower. But for this one, I'm going to do 3 petals at once. Okay, so we've got 1 petal. I need something to balance my hand on. And now we're going to go and do the next one. Okay, let's maybe take a nail polish bottle. I'm going intentionally slow because when I usually do these flowers, they come out very bulky. And I think it's because I rushed the process. And I really want it looking delicate and as lifelike as possible. Interestingly enough, glass flowers like this you can find in nature. There's a Japanese flower that goes translucent when water hits it. So if I can remember to locate that photo, I will pop it up on the screen. They're really quite majestic. So yeah, this isn't quite going to look like those, the Japanese flowers. The shape of the petals are slightly different, but the reference I'm using, the petals are rounded, and I want them a little bit more tapered on the outside. So when you have it the way you like it, go ahead and cure it, and then we're going to do the same. Just flattening out the center because we're going to be putting in caviar beads later. We're going to do the same technique with the other flower. All right, so we're going to take out another lump of gel, roll it around to get the tackiness off of the gloves. X-Acto knife. Where is and we're going to do 5 this time. You could do a 4-petal flower also. It doesn't need to be 5. And then we can put this away. Okay, so grabbing my silicone tool, on the pointer finger, we're going to put, I thought I was paused, 1 second. Really? We're We're going to put it at 12 o'clock. And I'm going to take another one and put it on the table. At 9 o'clock. And we're just going to do the same process. After I do these two, I'm going to cure them and move on to the rest of them. All right, before we go and matte top coat over the leaves, petals, I'm gonna mix a little bit of a color, a milky pink, if you will, to stain them. I'm using the same milky white, I'm using the milky white from the last video, which is why it's the same 001. And D-Gel's painting. That's not the right one. Okay. Just going to lightly paint them out. I'm going with a little bit of white just for some accents from the center. Okay, I'm just taking some base coat, matte top coat and painting out the flowers. I like the way the flower came out better on my left hand. This one is a little smaller, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. The nail is smaller. And now we're going to go back in with the white and we're going to create our leaf design accents on all of the nails. So the reason I'm using the Madame Glam white painting gel is because it dries non-tacky and it really sits up on the nail so I can see what I'm doing. If I use a no wipe top coat like you would traditionally do with chroming, it's going to bleed out while I'm working on it. I'm going to have to keep flash curing it as I'm going. This is just going to stay put on the nail and I'll be able to see it. So we're going to go in like we're doing a French line accent, except it's going to trail off like the stem of a plant. Then just randomly, we're going to create little dabs as you would with leaves. You really have to try to imagine where you're going to put the stems while you're doing this, because they're going to connect. It's easier to do it this way, to draw the petals first or the leaves, and then do the stems, because you're going to use the pigment that's already on the nail to thin it out. So I've cleaned off my brush. I'm going to take the tip of it and pull from the center of the leaf down at an angle. I'm going to curve it so that it meets the other branch. And I'm going to do the same with the other ones, just like so. Take a little bit more paint if you don't have enough. And then you want to go in the opposite direction and pull out a little tip, kind of like a flick. And I'm going to do the same on the other side. Okay, I've gone and flash cured. I'm going to take just the lid, because there's more than enough pigment on it, of my chrome powder. It's Gold from iGel Beauty. I'm going to take my silicone brush, my silicone tool, and scrub it in. And then if you have a milk sponge or something similar, like a makeup pad, like so, just go ahead and brush off the excess. If you still have some residue on your nail, you can go in with some acetone in the areas where you want to clean. And then move on to the next nail. Now you do want to be careful, because you're going to want to go over the nail with more top coat later, but we're going to go ahead and finish the other nails before doing so. So I'm going to finish the French accents before going in and doing the filigree and the accents on the flower petals. Okay, so next we're going to line the flowers. I want to try to be really careful and just go on the raised portion. We're going to do each petal just like so. Okay, the last step before finishing off with base and top coat is our gems. So I have this tray here that I will not spill, and Unigella nail glue, just because it's in a tube and it's easy to use. And I'm going to put in 3 caviar beads on each nail. Well, each flower rather. I really have to go to the bathroom, but I have to wait until I finish with this. Okay, gonna flash cure it. And then we're going to go over to the one on the side. Yeah, where'd it go? It disappeared. Trying to get the smallest ones that I have. The flowers and the caviar beads all came packaged together, and I wasn't about to go ahead and sift them out. There's my piece. I'm gonna put these away. And now we're going to take our rhinestones. I'm just going to do one champagne rhinestone each in the little swirls that I created. I'm using the smallest ones. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and cure this hand. And then we're going to base and top coat. So okay, so now when you go ahead and you put on your base coat, you want to make sure that you float it up the nail. You don't want to brush too heavily and pull the chrome powder off. And the reason I do base coat first is a few different reasons. First of all, I want a tacky layer back on the nail before I top coat to make sure that that chrome is extra secure. And also I've noticed over time that the top coat stays shinier when combined with the base coat. And also the design is a little bit raised and I want to make sure it's fully encapsulated. Make sure you go ahead and cap your edges and then flash cure your thumb if you're doing it first. All right, now when going in and doing the nails with the flowers, you want to be careful. First, you don't want to bloat the design and encapsulate the flowers. You want them to stay raised, but also you don't want to go over the rhinestone because that's also going to bloat it and take away the shine. I sometimes do it intentionally if I want to create like a water droplet effect, but I really want the rhinestone to keep its facets. So I'm going to go around it. I'm going to be very careful with how I'm applying the base coat and then subsequently the top coat later. Just trying to go as thin as possible, while, as I said before, not pulling off the chrome powder. Now, since we're going over a matte top coat, we can kind of see whether or not we've covered all of our bases, because either areas of the nail will be shiny or they won't be. You want to go ahead and level it out, pull the gel around the sidewalls, make sure it's in all the nooks and crannies. go around your rhinestone. Make sure that's well embedded. Then I want to drop a little bit more on the tip, just to level it out. You can drop your finger upside down so that the gel pools towards the apex, and then flash cure it before going on to your other nail. All right, so shouldn't be surprised that my manicures take me 6 to 7 hours at this point, especially something like this, which unfortunately does take a bit longer. But I absolutely adore the way they turned out. I'm so happy that these are going to be my birthday nails. I hope you like them. If you have any comments or questions as to anything that I did in this video, please drop a note down below. Having problems with my cream. I usually have it in a pump, but the pump broke. And the bottle cap for this is too small for the cream to come out. But anyway, that's going to do it. Like, comment, subscribe if you wish. I hope you do. Hit that notification bell so that you always know when new videos are available. I have Patreon information down below if you would like to join my Patreon. I have split my content in case you have not gotten the update. My regular manicures like this will go up on Mondays on YouTube, and additional content, tips, tricks, viral hacks, testing out sample nails, other videos like that will go on the Patreon on Fridays. I can't get this open with greasy hands. Every single time. Anyway, so I'm going to finish up with cuticle oil, and that's going to do it. So thank you everybody once again for joining me. Starting with the next video, I'm going to start bringing you some content for the fall season and Halloween. Do some browns and oranges and some more golds. As the northern climes start heading up into cooler weather. I'm in South Florida, so that's not going to happen for quite a while. Right now, I'll be happy just to keep missing out on the hurricanes. So, I will catch you in the next video. Bye.